And today we're going to do something a little bit different. We're watching a little TV with me. Technically it ain't TV. I like to watch a lot of YouTube, just random ass, crazy ass videos. And we're going to check out some videos, then we're going to play some games. We're going to see what's cracking. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. If you tune in now or later, it really don't matter to me. As long as you click the play button on my video, when there's a million videos out there, I appreciate that. Bow. I appreciate that for real. Thank y'all for being here. We're going to chill out, smoke some gas. What I'm blowing right now, I got some shit called Gushers. Hold on.
Then we get another Seagal classic. The body double used to just stand there.
Gushers, you feel me?
This is like
y'all see that?
2 full seconds and the audience can see his face. What the f***?
Gushers, you feel me?
We then see the police at the crime scene and meet
Special Agent William Porter,
Seagal's former protege.
So yeah, we're gonna get smoked out, watch some crazy ass videos, then we're gonna hop on the game. I might do some Resident Evil. I think I might just go ahead and knock out some Resident Evil. Yeah, I'm gonna probably beat Resident Evil, and I'm probably gonna start streaming The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt again, because to be honest, I love that game. It's one of my favorite games. I play it so much, I get bored with it, I leave, I come back. Y'all know how that goes. But come on, check it out. I know the camera with the phone and all that good, but hey, you get the picture?
In case you forgot how badass he is, we get an awesome shot of him blowing up the strip club, or possibly just the bathroom, as he walks away like a boss, not even reacting to it. Because it's been at least 5 minutes since he's insulted the audience, we are told by the lowest budgeted news channel in the world.
Bomb squad officials report that only a military-grade bomb could cause a destruction of this magnitude.
That is the dumbest thing I have ever heard, but there's still 80 minutes left in the movie, and I'm pretty sure Seagal can top it.
Fireboys are telling me they're pretty sure that it was a bomb.
And that took less than a minute. I'm glad we're all on the same page that it was a bomb. We learned the club was used to store illegal guns and ammo for some f***ing reason. Anyways, Porter sees Seagal and tries to catch up with him, but he's just too damn speedy. Now Porter finally tells the NYPD about Seagal.
His name is Colonel Robert Sykes. Skills of hand-to-hand combat, weapons, firearms, explosives. It's unmatched.
Most importantly, he gives them this vital information.
What else should we know about this guy? No, he doesn't drink, he doesn't do drugs, he doesn't sleep around, and he didn't smoke either.
Thanks, dipsh. That's really f***ing helpful. Seagal then executes these 2 guys who were already being arrested. Which seems unnecessary. But then again, that's Seagal's specialty. Speaking of unnecessary, we then get a scene that serves absolutely no purpose other than a filler action scene. Seagal's nowhere in it though, so it's actually half decent. We then get this very necessary scene of a hooker being thrown out of a car.
Y'all waste my money, bitch.
Seagal executes her pimp.
Oh my God.
All of the cozy holiday vibes this season.
I was never really big on Steven Seagal anyway.
Eggo's new Eggo-inspired liqueur, Eggonog.
These movies
From a
just change
deliciously decadent Eggonog espresso bourbon-tini to a festive brunchy Eggonog latte, we love to pair with Eggo thick and fluffy waffles in all the ways. And don't forget the cheers. Lego my Eggonog.
Gas smoke, gas smoke, gas.
But leaves her unharmed. I think you're supposed to sympathize with her.
I'm just doing this till I get back on my feet.
But then again, maybe not. This is Carrie. she's a stripper that really doesn't need to be in the movie, but for stupid reasons keeps showing up. Here, the mafia thinks she had something to do with the strip club bombing. Why? Because after the place blew up, an investigator asked her some questions.
I want to talk to her. She was here earlier today.
That's definitely suspicious. So, whatever. They thought that was bullshit.
My
So
coffee
they
mug,
tried
y'all.
to kill her.
My baby girl got it
Luckily,
from me.
Porter shows
If
up.
you ain't know, I'm a
at the
big
exact
fan of
moment
anime,
for reasons
Dragon Ball
that
Z.
are
As a matter of fact, we might watch some anime. It depends on how I feel. You know, I'm just chilling. I be up late night, walking the late night with madbox. I be up late night, just on some shit. You know what I'm saying? Just because I work late night, so got my schedule late night.
After killing
Get you
two
first.
more thugs in
Explain
the
all that
alley
shit. But what's
with
up?
his magical gun, he's just about to be killed himself when he is saved by the worst CGI in movie history. So Seagal shows up to talk some shit,
What's wrong with you, man? You slipping. But you can't check your six.
which is pretty ballsy considering he's the one responsible for this show of a movie, before blowing everyone's mind by asking the deepest question one human has ever asked another.
Would you give your life to save the world if nobody knew you did it?
Whoa. Anyways, we're supposed to believe that violent crime in New York has been eliminated due to Seagal's actions.
There hasn't been a violent crime reported in almost a week.
Once again, proving that you should never announce that something is the dumbest thing you have ever heard while there's still time left in a Seagal movie. In this next scene, Seagal finally proved his critics wrong. Not only is he the greatest action star of all time,
Oh, really?
but he can write Oscar award-winning dialogue as well.
I really need something.
Yeah, I don't think so.
No, such a dick.
I don't know, last time you fucking chewed her all up with those teeth.
If you're
What?
telling me you don't have good luck right now, then you're a goddamn liar.
What?
Seagal then sets up a meeting with Porter, who goes in with a wire. Turns out, this entire meeting was completely pointless. Seagal just says some really hurtful things to Porter.
You had a beautiful wife and a son who loved you. You lied. You cheated. And my wife was ripped away from my life. The owners left you on their own free will because you were such a son of a bitch. If I'm the bad guy, what does that make you?
Then tells him he's...
I'm the chair that has a bomb underneath it. The one that goes boom when you stand up.
We then get an entire action scene where Porter has to stay in his chair.
Get the fuck out of here.
Seagal found that so inspiring that to this very day, he does all his scenes sitting down. Carrie then shows up at the police station to report the shootout
Oh,
in her
shit, this
apartment.
is funny.
Kill the man in your apartment.
This shit is funny, bro.
All through my life, people have been
Oh
telling me
shit,
to
but
take
great.
time
UFC, that's some real
before you
fighting.
get cheap. Live a life gingerly. Consider this advice taken properly. Proper and ginger. Just that ginger ale to your proper 12 Irish whiskey. Shonda.
Agent Porter.
You remember all those people that were killed several days ago? Well, she finally found time in her busy schedule to report the mass killing, and nobody seems to give a shit. To be fair, it's a Seagal movie, so clearly nobody does give a shit.
What the fuck?
Anyways,
is going on?
Porter doesn't really work for the FBI.
What about Porter?
Who's Porter?
I want to say that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard, but there's still 20 minutes left, so I'll just say it's the dumbest thing I've heard yet. The movie takes that nonsensical twist to make you question if Seagal's character even exists. It leads to this final showdown on top of a building for really no reason.
What took you, man? You've been waiting up here all this time.
This fight is comedy gold. Seagal actually thinks he looks good here. First, it's a knife, not a sword. Waving it around like that makes you look like an idiot. And second, nobody believes this is you. You're embarrassing yourself. But it gets better. When the FBI helicopter comes around, this is what Seagal does. There is no way a 70-year-old, 300-pound man walks away from that. Anyways, to top this scene off, we either get the worst CGI you have ever seen, or the FBI are f***ing Jedi. It's a Seagal movie, so both seem like
Oh, shit.
Then, for reasons that aren't explained, Seagal blows up the entire floor of the building. So, was Seagal made
What's
up
funny
by
is my
Porter,
dad used
like
to
in
fucking
The
love
Usual
Steven
Suspects?
Seagal movies back in the day.
Was Seagal an alternate personality like Fight Club? Or did they both really exist? Since it's the end of the movie, Seagal can finally go all out with being as dumb as possible. It turns out it was Porter that never existed.
His name was Robert Sykes. There was no William Porter.
Even though the army sent over their files with their fucking pictures. This is literally the only resolution that can't possibly be true, and it's what Seagal goes with.
Oh my god.
You, Seagal.
That shit was hilarious. That shit was fucking hilarious. What the fuck happened to Jean-Claude Van Damme? Y'all remember Jean-Claude Van Damme, y'all?
When you live with moderate to
Jean-Claude
severe
Van
Crohn's
Damme.
disease or ulcerative colitis, your
can't
day can be
pronounce the man's
full of
name.
reminders of your condition. Never know.
Oh, that was funny.
I want you to hit me as hard as you can.
Shit. That was fucking hilarious. Oh, boy.
My name is Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
I used to be super famous.
He claims he can crack walnuts with his butt cheeks. He's a real-life Johnny Cage, and he loves that cocaine. Well, he used to. Jean-Claude Van Damme is one of the greatest action heroes to ever grace the silver screen. But a lot of people are split on how they feel about this legend. Is Mr.
Nah, I used to fuck with Jean-Claude, I ain't gonna lie. I used to fuck with, what is it?
Deserves
Damn,
decades of
Pool of Blood,
admiration.
Game of
See, a
Death, or
washed-up
some shit like that. He
husband
used
whose
to be in that
ego
shit. It was
sent
called
him on a
fucking
slow and painful death to the bottom of the direct-to-DVD bargain barrel. Or is he a beautiful, talented artist who uses cinema and martial arts to express his soul to the universe and beyond? Or is he just a badass
I think he like a
who
real life
sometimes makes
martial
cool
artist though.
flicks? Or all of the above? I'm going to say all the above. Yeah, that seems like the best answer. In Hollywood, we often see action stars that aren't exactly what they seem. A pretty face for the camera, while the stuntman comes in and does all the dirty work, the real work. Jean-Claude Van Damme is not one of those action stars. He's the real deal. A kickboxing and bodybuilding champion that could do a standing kick 7 feet in the air and then immediately do the splits and then get you right where the sun don't shine. Ouch. He has made some really good films. And and some not so good ones too. But such is life. Kicking, controversy, and confrontation follow this man around every corner, in the movies and in real life. Even though he's had his ups and downs, I still admire this man. In fact, it's his ups and downs that make him more interesting. He was just a skinny nerd who learned some karate, then took over the world. I even named my first car in high school after him, Jean-Claude Grandam. How was that cool? But how is JCVD doing now? Is his career on a downfall? Or is he in the middle of a comeback? And you know what? It's actually kind of hard to tell with him. But that's why we love us some Jean-Claude. And that's why we ask the tough questions. Like, what the f*** happened to Jean-Claude Van Damme? To truly understand what the f*** happened to Jean-Claude Van Damme, we must start at the beginning. And the beginning began when he was born on his birthday, Brussels, Belgium. His nickname was the Muscles from Brussels, because those muscles, they were born in Brussels. Young Jean-Claude began his martial arts career at the young age of 10. To go along with his martial arts training, Van Damme took up weightlifting and ballet. And he said if you could survive a ballet workout, you can survive a workout from any sport. And all of that work paid off when he became Mr. Belgium in a bodybuilding contest. Congratulations, sir. Wow, look at all of that body that he built. Van Damme would then go on to conquer the world of kickboxing, knocking out like all of his opponents. He had a near-perfect 18-1 record. Jean-Claude Van Damme, kickboxing champion. Even though Joe Rogan doubts it, but he has that guy to Google it for him, so...
He has a kickboxing record.
No, he does not.
Yes, he
has a
does.
point karate fighting background.
He has a kickboxing record. Jamie?
Van Damme retired from competition in 1982, and that same year he decided to move to the United States of America in hopes of becoming an actor. Jean-Claude was breaking into showbiz as a background dancer in the 1984 breakdancing classic Breakin'. And it was around this time that Jean-Claude Van Damme became sparring partners with the one, the only Chuck Norris.
Chuck Norris, now that's a real motherfucking martial artist.
That friendship
You take
led
that
to
shit
Chuck
serious.
Norris putting Van Damme on the stunt team for his film Missing in Action, which led to a small, uncredited role as a soldier. It took a few years before Van Damme would get his big break, playing the Russian villain in No Retreat, No Surrender in 1986. Several of the cast members complained about Van Damme, saying that he had no control over his martial arts and would continuously kick them in the face. And of course the film has an amazing riff track from those Mystery Science Theater 3000 guys. Then came the year 1987, the year of the Predator. Due to his martial arts background and agile movements, Van Damme was cast in the role of the Predator in Predator.
No, for real? Didn't know that. Jean-Claude Van
But he was
Damme.
fired or quit, depending on who you ask.
Oh,
And like I said, there's a number of conflicting stories about Jean-Claude Van Damme and the Predator. Some
the
say he
Predator?
told
That's
producers that the
crazy.
suit was too hot and he was passing out while filming. Arnold Schwarzenegger called him a relentless complainer. And some say that Jean-Claude Van Damme thought that Predator was going to be his huge breakout role, but hated that he had to conceal his face. Because how can your face become famous if people don't see it? Producer Joel Silver clashed with Jean-Claude Van Damme because the actor insisted that the Predator should have some kickboxing skills, because why not? And when the filmmakers watched the dailies, they just didn't feel like little Jean-Claude was an imposing threat on those beefcake governors. So yeah, get out of there, Jean-Claude Van Damme. Go do other things. We have another path for you.
Didn't realize that he was just kind of a stuntman, right? We get him out there for the first shot, and he's just seething.
Van Damme's first big starring role came in 1988 with the martial arts film classic Bloodsport.
That's what it's
Freaking
called,
awesome
Bloodsport.
movie. The film's fight choreographer, Frank Dux, who the movie is based on, loosely or not at all, said that when Van Damme was cast, he was not in good enough shape to convincingly play the role. So he put him on an intense 3-month training schedule that Van Damme called the hardest training of his life. It paid off because, like I said, Bloodsport is awesome. Freaking awesome. And the film is based on a true story, even though there's absolutely no evidence that any of this ever happened to this guy, but let's just pretend it did, because that makes everything cooler. Yeah, Bloodsport based on a true story, yeah! The video game Mortal Kombat was inspired by this film, with the Johnny Cage character, of course, being based upon Jean-Claude, who was asked to be the video game character, but turned it down. Van Damme actually helped edit Bloodsport. Usually it's not such a good idea to let the actor edit the movie, but in the case of Bloodsport, it worked. The film was actually a sizable hit, pulling in $50 million worldwide on a $2 million budget. But those pesky critics found the story cliched and the acting subpar. Yet they found the fighting and the action to be very exciting. Unfortunately, Van Damme would be nominated for Worst New Star at the Razzies. They don't know what they're talking about because they're just raspberries. Raspberries don't know anything. Neither do tomatoes. He would return to the villain role for his next movie, Black Eagle, in 1988. Then came the following year, 1989. And that was the year of the cyborg.
Moose raised my credit score by 12 points instantly, which is insane.
So I raised my score by 21 points instantly. Literally as soon as...
Film's production company, Cannon Films, was originally going to make a sequel to Masters of the Universe as well as a live-action Spider-Man film, intending to shoot both films at the same time, using the same director. They built several sets for the films, Masters of the Universe.
See some USC. See some old school Anderson. Old school Anderson Silver. When he was young, man. Man, y'all gotta, I love UFC, man. I ain't gonna lie, I'm a UFC fucking fanatic. I fucking love it. These are real life superheroes, man. Look at him. Look at him. That's when that boy was cold, man. When he was young, man. That was my guy. We got Izzy now, but shit, Izzy just lost his belt. That shit hurt. Look at that boy. Get off of him. Get off of him. And kick the shit out of him. Man, this should have made me turn on my UFC. Oh, God. Get off that man! Man, I thought Izzy was gonna be like that, man. He couldn't do it, man. Izzy will what? He defended this shit, what, 11, 12 times, man? Come on, man. Them bows is a motherfucker. What's wrong? Get off of him. That's when he was cold, man. Get off of him. Get off of him. Get your bitch out. Beat your. Oh, God, you better fuck him up. Get the fuck out of here. Man, that boy was the spider. Get off of him. Watch out, Eddie. Watch out, Eddie. Yeah, I'm finna fuck you up. Watch out, Eddie. God damn, he didn't do that. Get off for you. Damn, it's alright. Do that man like that. Do that man like that.
He's got Dan's back here. A lot of time to work.
What are you doing?
Oh, trying to work his way up with an elbow.
I ate his face.
Be careful, he's back mounted.
His face.
He's in deep trouble here. So he's got the hooks with him. Now this is even worse because he flattens him out. 25 seconds remains. He can submit people.
That boy was a killer, man. Come on. Damn, boy, he gonna choke you? He gonna choke. It's over with. Yeah, go ahead, let it go. And your ass die out there. Ooh, that's a big nigga. Ooh, shit! Oh.
He hasn't been embarrassed. He's been there with the top pound-for-pound fighter in the world, and he doesn't have a mark. Got a little cut on
Look at that man.
But he's no.
What the hell?
Oh no! What happened?
This nigga twisted his ankle.
Oh no! Oh, he blew his ACL.
Unbelievable. Confident in his striking. Look at the hands flow.
I remember this. When he beat the fuck out of Forrest Griffin. Oh, game. Beat his ass. Beat his ass. Get your bitch ass. Get the fuck out the UFC, bitch. Oh, God. Get your bitch ass up. You want to hear? Alright. I'm gonna knock you out, bro. Dang. Alright. Get your bitch up. What up?
Has huge heart, though.
What?
Look at Silva. I mean, that's just a big...
Aye. Leave him alone. Leave that man alone, bro. Oh yeah, I remember this. Chael Sonnen was giving him some problems, though, boy. That's a wrestling motherfucker, Chael Sonnen, man. That's one wrestling ass white boy, boy. Fuck you talking about? He got lucky really with this one. Cause Chael was on his ass. Choke him out. Choke him out. Yes, sir. Watch it, watch it, watch it, watch it.
Like we said, second to none.
Oh! He's down. He's down. He's down. Nigga, that was the real champion of the UFC, man. Fuck you talking about? They ain't found one like him yet, man. Oh my God, that punch though. That punch though. You gonna beat him like that?
He is so accurate with his strikes, Mike.
Big elbow to the midsection.
Oh, come on, man.
Anderson Silva remains the middleweight champion. As an early turning point.
Detail again.
Continues. Anderson. Big right hand. Looking to finish the fight. Chael's in trouble. Anderson Silva remains the UFC middleweight champion.
Anderson holding on to the
That
arm.
boy was like Jordan.
And he takes him down.
Swarms him. This is going to be it. Looking to finish the fight right here. Anderson Silva defeats Seth Warner. He is the greatest of all time.
Man, he sure the fuck was, man. God, he was. Who else? Who we got? Let's see what Izzy talking about. Izzy, man. That shit hurt me when Izzy lost. I ain't gonna lie, that shit hurt.
The easiest decision in the
Izzy lost. I was hurt. I was sad. He took that shit better than I did. I didn't want to cry that nigga got knocked out. I ain't gonna lie to you. That motherfucker was a hero.
To the man himself, a man of his word. There he is. It's really messing me up coming in.
Y'all
I
take a
was
look
like,
at
Jeff
this real
Jarrett?
fast. I'll be back.
Double J? What's up, man? How are you? Great to see you. Thank you very much for coming in. I really appreciate it having me. Much love to you. I was just saying.
Around. I get around.
I know, but you know how it is.
Easy.
It's one of those things where you're like, you're not sure if you're.
I will. Well, I mean, when I say I will, yes, I mean that. But then, you know, my handlers might have other plans or, you know, things to do. But no, I'm feeling good, and I felt like, yeah, let's get chatting. Let's go.
I appreciate that, and I was saying it's very rare for someone to come on the show after a loss.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone has ever come on in studio.
No way.
After a loss.
Oh, sure.
So it says a lot about you. And I was talking about some of those and I wonder if you ever looked at it like this. Like there have been some famous moments. Conor after Nate won. Dominic Cruz after Cody, where it seemed like people
Izzy
felt a certain way about them, and then afterwards, after those moments, they showed up to the press conference, they owned it.
Dominic when he was standing up.
Yes.
Yeah, our best classic. Yeah.
And you reminded me of that on Saturday. You showed up, you know, like you didn't have to show up to the press conference. You certainly don't have to be here, and yet you're owning it. And I'm wondering if you ever watched those guys and been like, you know, if I ever have to deal with something like that, I'm going to deal with it like this.
Probably, definitely. You know, left an impression in my mind, definitely. I remember Dominic was suited up, glasses on.
Yep.
And he's like, why wouldn't I be here? And someone, I think, even said, take a seat. And he's like, why'd I sit down? I'm comfortable right now. And yeah, just stood in his own, 10 toes deep. And yeah, I did the same.
How are you doing?
Good. Great, actually.
You're okay?
Yeah.
This isn't one of those where you're saying you're good inside.
Like, I'm surprised, though. That's the thing. I woke up and I'm surprised the amount of, because I think people are taking it harder than me. The people that ride for me.
You ain't lying,
Even talking to your good friend Schultz and other people as well, like in my life, I think they see me the way I am and the way I'm feeling makes them okay. And yeah, I felt that. Yeah.
Are you surprised at how well you're doing?
Yeah. Oh no, I knew I was gonna be fine. It wasn't like I'm not. I've had worse things in my life happen to me. But yeah, I'm surprised how much people care and how much they take to
you a hero.
People are like, the people who really care about you, who love you. But once they see you're doing fine, then you're just, once. I think maybe the leg was sore after the fight. I went home chill.
Hey, get off that leg shit too. I'm tired of hearing that bullshit ass excuse, boy. You knocked you the fuck out. He knocked you the fuck out. Your ass was dazed and confused in that motherfucker. Talk about that leg shit. That nigga had you uppercut, right hand, uppercut, left hand, uppercut. Your ass was
in the sense that
motherfucking sleep. Fuck you talking about? You talking about you looking at it. You weren't looking at shit. Your eyes was closed, waiting to die. Fuck you talking about? You lucky. The ref put you out that bitch. Or your skinny ass have been fucking permanently injured. On that. And I can say skinny. I'm a skinny nigga. I'm smaller than a lot of them niggas in there. And that fucking dude you were fighting the pills was a big ass dude. I know you was skinny nigga compared to them.
So when I was landing, I was stabilized and I kicked on that. Something happened. I felt that. But in that moment, I was like,
if he hit you with that same knee, he hit that other big ass white boy.
That's where freestyle comes into play, like breakdance.
Yeah.
My dance background. So I just knew like I need to get up somehow, and I was like,
and I fucked with you, but that's
and as I back row, I was like, okay, there's gonna be a flying or some kind of attack coming towards me.
Ready to
get out
of your ass again.
Just eject. But yeah. I still have to watch the fight. I watch highlights, but I need to watch the fight again just to enjoy it for what it was.
You don't watch that fight.
Enjoy it for what it was.
As a matter of fact, yeah, you do. I ain't gonna start. He was kicking his ass.
Think so.
He was kicking his ass. In that fight, Izzy was beating the fuck out of him. I gotta give him that. He was beating that big dude ass. The only thing is, when you fighting somebody big like that,
a good contest.
And if you ain't no UFC fan, look at Alex Perez. Alex Perez is a big ass dude. He's a fucking monster. And on top of that, he can fucking box. So that's a problem. You fight a monster like that, and he can box, you gotta be perfect. And Izzy damn near was perfect. The one time he wasn't perfect, he got his ass rocked. Dude, boom, socked his ass. That one sock was over. He couldn't recover from that. He just kept getting dazed and confused after that. Bing, 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 bing. He was almost perfect. He was perfect for 4.5 fucking rounds. He needed one more half a round. He would have beat dude ass. It would have been over with. End of that chapter, you know what I'm saying? But nah. Dude caught his ass with one. He caught him with a slip onto it like a little diagonal uppercut. Hit his ass from down here. Wow. As soon as he got hit, I knew when he got hit with that. I ain't never seen him got hit like that before. I ain't never seen him been hit like that before. His whole shit was, I was like, oh, that's not good. And then you could tell because he started bagging up. He be trying to look like he alright, but he wasn't. He play it off real good. He bite his lip and shit. He looked like he alright, but nah, nigga, you want to hype your shit rocked upward. You know what I'm saying? He damn near took your head to the moon with that bitch. I know you not alright. Then he hit his ass again. Pop, pop, nigga, you asleep. Run. Fuck what you talking about? So he tried to run. Somehow the nigga tripped. Probably because he too dazed and confused. Boom, boom, boom. Trip. Nigga beat his ass some more. Bing, 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 bing. Had his ass sleep down there. All Izzy could do was bob his head back and forth like he listening to some song. Don't nobody else hear it. He was bobbing like a motherfucker. His ass over with. And that's my guy. I can say this. I fuck with Izzy. I hope he come back and beat the shit out that big ass dude. But right now, that fucking Alex Perez, that nigga fucked you up, so I ain't gonna lie. I take that back. He fucked you up in the last moments of the fight. He fucked you up. That combo he did in the last moments of the fight, that shit was brutal. I was nervous for you. Your head was rocking. Like, I ain't never seen your head rock like that before. Seen other niggas' head rock like that, but not Izzy. His shit don't bobble head. Your shit was bobble hidden. Fuck you mean? Your shit was bobble hidden, nigga. I ain't gonna lie to you. That's everything I love. Your shit was.
All I knew was like, I was kind of sick
gang, he had your shit going in circles. Fuck talking about.
Maybe Tuesday, I was like, I just want to fight.
You came on this show, you're like, enough for me.
No, not everyone, not just you. I still did a thing, but like, I was just sick of like, because the fight was already sold.
Right.
So I was sick of like, talking. Like, I'm like, I just want to fight. I literally just want to fight. And I'm glad I did. I had fun in there. Like, I don't know if you, I'm sure you see me smiling in bits and pieces.
I bet it was fun. To them last little, to them last little minutes.
I asked you about the fight, but I was also
they got real serious in the last 4 minutes.
Kicks things off.
Shit was getting
he is for real.
rocking your shit like a band, oh God, rocking your rock band, your shit, oh God, rocking your shit, boy. Fucking talking, you don't believe me? Go watch it. Israel did his thing. He avoided that big ass dude. Is big as fuck. Oh God, he big as fuck. He was doing his thing. He even damn near knocked dude out almost in the first and second round. Boom, damn near knocked him out. If he had a fucking 10 more seconds, it'd have been over. Dude got saved by the bell. That big ass dude came out. Is still working his ass. Bing, 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 bing. And they going in. They really going in. Is working. Moving. Because he a quick little, slick, quick little motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So he avoiding them shits. But can't avoid everything. He almost did. That one big had his ass.
In the arena, which was cool.
Yeah, La La Land. That nigga.
I'm just not backstage.
He ain't never come back from that one.
Like you're watching
somebody, he talking about, oh, he kicking his right myofibulate ankle, myofibulate ankle. Man, shut the fuck up with that. Motherfucker ain't kicked you in your ankle. Motherfucker was beating your head in. Fuck, come on. He was drumming on your head. Did nobody see no ankle kick? The fuck you mean, boy? He knocked you the fuck out with fist, knuckle, head punch, nigga. Like, come on, he hit you on top of your shit. He was drumming your shit. He was
just that check was
knocking on your shit.
So you were filled with pride, joy. After that, the Brad fight obviously
I
was a tough one.
And I ain't gonna lie, if I was a UFC fighter or some shit like that, I just tell the truth, man. Motherfucker beat you. It ain't like you ain't gonna be able to fight him again. Yeah, he beat my ass, I ain't gonna lie. Motherfucker beat me right there in the lab. Bing, bing, bing. But I'm gonna come back on his ass. Woo, woo. Why you gotta be on here like, oh, it was my fibrillate ankle and it just had ruptured and I had done this. Shut the boy, did nobody, boy. Nobody trying to hear all that shit. Because if your ass would have won, you wouldn't have mentioned nothing about him, the fibrillate ankle. Fuck out of here.
For so many years, just fought. He also, when he started fighting, he fought like fire with fire. He'll just attack you. He wasn't really the most savvy, crafty, but then once he started working with Eugene, he learned how to like crafty. And also working with Frank and the boys.
I'm sorry, funny, that's what happened. Nigga beat you fuck up that rib, bro.
Andre got his wrestling good.
Nah, I keep saying that. He didn't beat you the fuck up. I gotta make that perfectly clear. He beat you the fuck up in the last 4 minutes of the fight. Your ass was in danger.
But yeah, it doesn't surprise me as well because also now he's a man, he's a family man, and he's told me his reasons why. Okay. And I respect that, and whatever he wants to do, 1,000% I'll support him. But he's a savage.
and Dan.
Yeah.
Looked great.
Oh, bro, psychopath.
Yeah, what that first round was insane.
Bro, when Homeboy was on his leg, right? I swear, I was looking at that. Looks tight, but Dan doesn't look like in trouble, so he's fine. And I see Homeboy like squeezing, cranking, and then he goes, and Dan's just sitting there like, I'll wait.
Diaz coming break.
30% by adding a hotel.
No, hold on. I can't believe my boy Anderson lost Jake Paul last time. He getting old though. He getting old, you know what I'm saying? He is getting old. Can't be Superman forever. Even Superman got old, I think. Yeah, I think Superman fell off a horse, broke his motherfucking neck. Anyway.
It is the worst. There's got to be a better way. So I gave Swiffer a shot. It's way better. Swiffer's heavy-duty dry closet can just in here and lock it away. There's no room that can push it around. Swiffer, totally worth it. Love it or your money back.
This part of Christmas is basically the presents. They always hide it in the same exact place. Kinda want it to be a surprise, but kinda want to know too. I act like I never saw anything. That's why you call being sneaky.
You're watching Unrelenting Game. This is Vegeta, the Prince of all Saiyans. Make sure you subscribe to Unrelenting Gaming and push the like button for me. Oh, goodness. You know how this works. Make sure you enable all notifications on the channel and watch the entire video all the way through. And don't forget to follow.
I told you I fuck with anime gang. Anime!
That's enough. On with the video.
So for many of us who have been waiting all throughout 2022, specifically after the conclusion of the Dragon Ball Super manga arc involving the story of Granola in August, as we now near the end of 2022 and making our way into 2023, it would only appear as though Shueisha and Toei Animation have a few surprises in store for us going into the new year, in not only introducing a brand new Dragon Ball Super manga arc that's scheduled to be released on December 20th, but we now also have a few other things to look forward to as we now begin to enter into 2023. As a quick little reminder before we dive deeper into this video, if you just so happen to be new to this channel and want to be kept up to date with everything in regards to both the Dragon Ball Super manga and any and all things involving the Dragon Ball IP, then I do encourage you all to head on over and smash that subscribe button and turn on all notifications by clicking on the bell icon, so that way you can always be up to date and notified as to whenever a brand new video is posted onto the channel. On top of supporting this channel by giving this video a big fat thumbs up by smashing that like button down below if you guys simply cannot wait and are excited to see what's about to unfold as Dragon Ball Super continues, because the following confirmation comes from the official source of Toei Animation having to now finally make the announcement and revealing absolutely nothing outside of the Blu-ray release for the upcoming Dragon Ball Super superhero movie, but there is one thing that they clarified on going into 2023, and well, it's not the Dragon Ball Super anime, but instead it is the Dragon Ball Super manga. As of course you guys can see here, we now have a better idea as to what is to be expected going into the new arc for the Dragon Ball Super manga, and the translations that directly come from the New Jump magazine courtesy of BBS Hype goes on to state, the long-awaited new arc finally begins. The next heroes will be you two. The main characters are now Trunks and Goten, a prequel that connects the Dragon Ball Super superhero movie while Goku and Vegeta are training on Beerus' planet. Brand new heroes are born on Earth. Their secret identities are their sons, Trunks and Goten. Now, I know what you might be thinking right off the gate by saying that this is either garbage or it doesn't make any sense, but if you go on want to put 2 and 2 together, it looks as though now they're going to be bridging the Granola arc with the Dragon Ball Super Superhero movie, which ultimately now makes sense because in the Dragon Ball Super Superhero movie, it was said as soon as Beerus found out that Broly was on his planet that the reason why Goku had gone as far as to bring Broly there was because of Frieza. But one might ask, well, why would they want to keep Broly safe from Frieza if Broly was shown thrashing Frieza in the Broly movie, right? Well, if there's any indication now that points towards a singular problem, that problem now is in fact Black Frieza. So what better way than to prepare for him than to not only be shown training on Beerus' planet, but also to bring Broly onto the planet just like they did in the film, while also at the same time expanding on both Trunks and Goten's character, while of course Gohan and Piccolo are doing their own thing, assuming that we're just going to be glossing over the events that transpired involving Dr. Hito and the Gammas and Cell Max, but that information is neither here or there. But what we do have an understanding of right now, that clear-cut understanding is going to be this: Beast Gohan and Orange Piccolo are going to be coming back in the manga, and likely going as far as to see Broly's training with Goku and Vegeta for the first time within the manga as well. So all of this is seemingly going to culminate to a training arc, of course, having to involve the Red Ribbon Army after the events of Cell Max have passed, which then becomes a question that everyone is asking is what happens after this, right? Well, the only other answer I can give you outside of them having to go past the events involving Cell Max will, of course, inevitably be to reveal to Gohan and Piccolo and everybody else that, hey, not only is Frieza back, but Frieza is now stronger than all of us, right? So at least there we have something to look forward to, as of course this arc starts on December 20th, but in case you're wondering about the return of the Dragon Ball Super anime, it's not going to happen in 2023, and here's why. So we know that a web anime is going to be coming, which of course a web anime is basically a higher budget quality kind of anime that is sort of similar to that of Super Dragon Ball Heroes in a sense, but it's not really directly connected to the main continuity of Dragon Ball Super, which means tying into the events of the Tournament of Power or anything having to do with Broly or Moro or Granola. That's not going to happen. And plus, the staff and all of the voice actors, the people that were behind Dragon Ball Super are all over the place. They're working on different things, and quite frankly, simply put, Toei has their eye on One Piece. They have other projects going on, so don't expect for the Dragon Ball Super anime to return anytime soon unless Toei wants it to, which then becomes the question of will Toei be willing to relinquish and stop doing what they're doing for their other projects simply to cater to Dragon Ball? Well, the answer to that, I feel, is no, because whenever Toei just so happens to want to, I'm pretty sure they can bring back Dragon Ball Super whenever they just so please. So my suggestion and my advice to all of you is let's just wait for Toei Animation to announce this, because if you start getting your hopes up by listening to this person, that leaker, this insider, you're only going to rile yourself up, and you're only going to get more angry at the fact that your hopes and expectations were subverted because you were expecting for something to be announced only for nothing.
What year is it?
It's 1815.
I was here, and then suddenly I was on the plantation where I think our family were owned as slaves.
Anytime soon, and to be honest, I'm okay with that, because if Dragon Ball Super the anime can come back looking like Bleach or Chainsaw Man or One Piece in terms of quality, then hell yeah, that would be a product worth consuming. But if it comes back looking the way it did, then what's the point of having to wait many years only for the product to come back looking the same as it once did, right? So to that, what Toei ended up doing was they made this big tease that they were going to announce something, and they announced absolutely nothing. They announced the release of the Blu-ray set for the Dragon Ball Super Superhero movie, and that was pretty much it, which a lot of us already know by now that, hey, the movie's done, the movie's over, it's finished, we know that there's a Blu-ray coming, so why would you tease the fans like that? But at least there's something to look forward to within the manga, because now more so than ever, I am curious to see if Toyotaro is going to be adapting the battle involving Beast, Gohan, and Cell Max, and just to kind of see what he's going to do with the characters involved from that film, which more notably than anything else, I'm curious to see if he's going to be making any significant changes, or if, well, he's going to be keeping everything the same, just as we saw go down in the movie. So by the end of all of this, I want to go ahead and get your thoughts specifically in regards to the manga, and if you believe that all of this is going to somehow tie back into Black Frieza, because something tells me that they aren't really going to be going in this direction for nothing, which may be a clear indicator that, hey, to kind of spice things up in the future, instead of just getting Ultra Ego Vegeta versus Black Frieza, instead we might get Black Frieza
channel, and I'm finna switch over to the box, play some games, check it out, stay with me. I appreciate anybody and everybody who tuned in.
So I want to get your thoughts down below on how you guys feel about them.
Like,
again. Thank
follow,
you all so much for watching.
share,
Thank you all so very much for your time. I hope you guys enjoyed. So once again, if you guys can't wait for the next manga arc and